Okay, this is me trying to figure out Marvel. So I guess it can be called a rant. Um, but I'm not gonna be yelling like other rants. I'm just gonna talk about it constantly I can talk about. Um, so it's gonna be rampant yelling at him. So yeah, so sorry. Um, yeah, I just feel like one percent different. This is the program. This is I mean not that good of a film. But you feel this passion idea behind it in a way what was some which was lacking from Spider-Man Far From Home. And now you felt there was an idea behind Captain Marvel, but not really sure what that idea was. Oh no, that was Captain Marvel. And you're not really sure what the scene passion feels a little misguided at times. Like it wants to be funny but doesn't want to be funny. So passion seems to be misguided and confused. Um, Incredible Hulk is the laziest Marvel film I've ever seen made. It just feels like there's no passion, no ideas behind it. It feels like that way to me. And so, yeah, that's not. We haven't gotten to any good ones yet, but we gotten to mediocre ones. And the ones from here all the way to there are mediocre and good ones. The ones that cross out the mediocre ones. So we saw is crap against this origin story. Like, I mean, Loki becomes a bad guy out of nowhere, and deep in bad guy, there's some something Tythers. I don't really buy it. Now there's Iron Man 3. Now, at some point in the middle of the film, the kid asks who he is. Next thing you know, he points out that he's dead when he had a paper in his hand the whole time that says Tony Stark dead. And Doctor Strange is not that much of a story, but it has cool visuals if you could see the visual. But yeah, no, thanks to the crappy color grading, you can't. Yeah, man's a pretty simple story like Guardians of the Galaxy, much like Captain America: The First Avengers, and the Avengers, and Dallas Fort Outlook, and Black Panther, and Infinity War, and Far From Home. Not that much for these ones. I mean, the story's nice, complex at times, yes, but the ones I crossed out, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange, the coloring just ruins it. Now, Captain America: The Winter Soldier was the first buddy comedy between Black Widow and Captain America. So that's nice. That was interesting to see. And I mean, as a two is a man out is about a man running out of time, man out of time, and want to make the best of life. And Avengers of Ultron is the heroes discovering the Age of Ultron is the heroes discovering who they are now versus who they are in the past, and coming to terms with who they are now. That's not the same people they were before in the past. And they're better, actually. People. And Endgame kind of threw away that idea. And also we see a vision of Tony Stark. This is me ranting about the Marvel timeline and how it doesn't make any sense emotionally and logically to me. Um, see, we see all his friends have died. Now, Endgame, Infinity War threw that idea out the window. So he can't really do it anymore. First, they killed Tony. Now, this is a family splitting up, and friends and family splitting up for a period of time. And they come back together in the most underwhelming way possible in Infinity War. Ant-Man the Wasp takes place in between then. And it's another buddy comedy / love story. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a galactic family movie about this absurd galactic family that are aliens, and one of them is half a god, struggling between his human side and his god side, and he doesn't want to abandon his family or he just wants to be with his family, which is his new family, his friends, the Guardians of the Galaxy. That would be Peter Quill style, what known as. And hang on. Just gotta get some water. Oh yeah, that's good. So we move on to, after literally the disaster film that was Infinity War, it comes Endgame. So Endgame is about it touches on family. It's about family again, but it's focused on family going through family dynamics, like grieving over loved ones, struggling to move on. And Black Widow struggles the most in that film, but becomes the most developed, surprisingly. And another thing is the main characters, all the main characters in these stories, feel confusingly developed. Like they're having some sort of identity crisis in films, in some of them. Most of them not, but story-wise, then you realize the story-wise doesn't feel like it has an identity crisis, the stories. Like in each installment. So, but side characters don't have that problem for some reason. So the side characters are the only ones that feel consistent, but not the main characters. So, which makes me kind of worried for the Black movie. And in Endgame, Peter doesn't say any jokes, and also in Infinity War he doesn't say any jokes. So I was surprised they only told 2 jokes. I shouldn't be surprised they only told like literally 2 jokes that were kind of out of nowhere and Far From Home. But really, what can you do about it? It's mail. I mean, now it doesn't matter anymore, I guess. And now Ragnarok, and then Homecoming we're going to talk about. Now Ragnarok is another Thor film. It has the most deepest, complex story, but also the most funniest one, heartwarming one. Thor thinks Thor seems to be convinced he's powerless without his hammer, and he's not really. He doesn't feel like he's worthy to be a hero without his hammer. But then his father Owen, who's in the afterlife, point out that he's not as strong as his father. He's stronger than he thinks. So I love the part when it goes like does this whole sun tries and kicks ass, and 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 now there's also a Hulk's movie also. Now Hulk arc is great. He there's one he has changed. At first when we saw him, he was just like this boring, uninteresting, bland, angry monster and unfun. Then when interesting, it made him a fun, interesting monster and not bland. But not really that fleshed out. In fact, he got the short end of the stick for fleshing out a character. The Hulk did. Now, when we get to Age of Ultron, he's in love with Black Widow, but he feels like he has to leave her for her to not get hurt. And Banner was going to leave with Black Widow, but the Hulk disagrees with Banner's idea, wanting to leave with Black Widow because Hulk thinks best if he just cuts her out of his life, period. Then when Ragnarok comes, well, Hulk is not trying not to think about it as possible, and he rides in the Quinjet, the Avengers jet, and he's just living the life of fighting of people who don't hate him because everyone hates him on Earth. Except for, of course, the Avengers, but they're broke up by now, but he doesn't know that. Neither does Banner. In fact, Banner doesn't find the Avengers broke up until Infinity War. Because Thor didn't know that they broke up. So, Thor in Ragnarok accidentally plays this video of Black Widow, which was the last time Hulk saw Black Widow, and this triggers his PTSD and starts freaking out, and you can tell that he feels trapped inside Banner's keeping up prison, Banner's keeping the Hulk prison in his mind as a prisoner, even when Hulk has every right to live his life like Banner deserves to live his life. But Banner just sees Hulk as this thing that is just a monster, not really human at all. So good storytelling so far, right? Yeah. And then Banner decides he doesn't want to be he decided in Age of Ultron he doesn't want to be a hero anymore. He doesn't want to be the Hulk anymore. Then by the third act of the film, he decides he's ready to be a hero again. Because he realizes why he liked being in the first place, because helping the little guy out, helping all these innocent lives that and it made him feel good, right? Right. So he comes here and thus becomes a Hulk and smashes. And then he can't turn into a Hulk in Infinity War because Hulk got beat by Thanos, and the Hulk's a pussy because he got beat by Thanos. He doesn't want to be the Hulk anymore. Doesn't want it. So Kevin, because the Hulk is here because he lost to Thanos. And it doesn't dive that much deep into why the Hulk is so scared of Thanos because he lost. I mean, I have a theory on that, but I can't remember what it was, so I'm not going to tell you. Now I remember, I think it has something to do with his, because in the comics, Hulk was Banner got abused by his father a lot. So I think the Hulk is the extension version of Banner. all that the childish version of Banner, and the adult version of Banner. But and so he can't treat a Hulk anymore. But by Endgame, he's a Hulkin. Not only that, but he's also talking and has the brains of Banner, not as a Hulk. And he doesn't have any anger issues anymore. All that's gone, and well, dude, we got a bland, stupid version of a Hulk. And I mean, he's funny, but he's not complex or interesting. Visually, I mean, he's fun to watch. I mean, I like him, but he's just blah mostly. So that's why Hulk arc is great, but if the dive more in the go explore that part more, I think what they should have done is explore that. If they explore that part more in like I don't know, standalone Hulk film, I think it could really save the sort of Hulk franchise. No, the Marvel franchise is kind of doomed though, and in the swamp right now. And that's my thoughts.